guys, welcome back. And today we're going to start a new series called Learn Python with Me. And today we're going to talk about lists. So let's get into it.
And so there's so many things you can do with a list, but we don't have time to cover it all today, so we're just going to go over some of the basics. And we have a simple list here of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Sneezy, Bashful, Sleepy, and so forth. And I see the print function on line 4, Snow White, the variable for the list, and the number 6 in square brackets. Now, why is that? And the reason being is because 6 represents the index, the place in line, you would say, in this list. So what do you think is going to happen when I press run? Well, let's find out. When I press run, we get Dopey. So Dopey, but we actually count the list as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And so obviously the Dopey is not 7, but how Python works is that it goes by index of starting with 0. So this has 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's why we get Dopey. So let's comment that out and let's go over to the next example here. Another thing you'll notice with lists that people do is that they'll have a start, end, and a step. So we start with Sneezy, and from what we've learned so far, we should end at Dopey and then skip every other dwarf here. So we should get Sneezy, skip over Bashful, get Sleepy, skip over Happy, get Grumpy, skip over Doc, and get Dopey. And is that what we get? No, we're missing Dopey for some reason. And for whatever reason, you should notice now that Python does not count the end step as the definitive stop. So as you can see here, we're missing Dopey, and that's why it shows up like this. Let's go over to the next example on line 8. So let's say we want to insert another dwarf, Sappy, because we just want to see how this works. So let's print this out and see what happens. So we have the index number 1 here. So we should push over Bashful. And yes, it does. Bashful gets moved over for move room for Sappy. Sappy comes in. But let's say we want to remove a dwarf here as well. So let's uncomment this out. And you see this number as a -1. So what this is that in Python, you can have reverse indexing. So this would be -7, -6, -5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And once we can, and I forgot to mention that this .pop and .insert are methods in lists, where it basically its functions as to reorder the list or add or subtract from it, basically. So when we press run, we get all the dwarfs except Dopey. And so that's examples of basic lists here. So let's comment this out. Now you might be wondering what's the purpose of lists other than listing out the 7 dwarfs, because you just have so much time, right? Well, I know I've come up with a practical example of what happens if you actually decide to travel, once the pandemic ends. And let's say you want to travel out from Vancouver, where I'm from, and you want to travel to places in Asia, for Hong Kong, Seoul, and Tokyo, and you're going to go back to Vancouver. And you're going to do it within these dates, let's say. So maybe your travel agent has a computer system that actually combines these dates and times. So we have travel itinerary 2, which is the variable for the 2 lists being added up, travel places and travel dates. So when we click run, let's see what we get. Yes, we have one big list of both strings and integers, which these lists can be combined into. You can also have them as separate lists as well. So let's uncomment line 33. Let's comment this out and see what we get here. And yes, so as you can see, there's square brackets between the places of travel and the dates of travel. And so, yeah. Oh yeah, the other reason for the lists is that they're mutable, meaning that they can be interchanged, and that it also keeps the order of the items in the list. So let's say you don't want to, accidentally change dates here, like 1 and 25, and mess up Hong Kong and Vancouver, right? Because that would really put a wrench in your plans.
And that concludes my video on lists in Python for beginners. I have some documentation from python.org in the description below, and I also have the website from W3 Schools if you want to learn more about the methods in lists. You can also learn about the 4 basic data types video that I did earlier over here. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next time.